Happy International Women's Month and greetings to all our viewers on LinkedIn and Facebook Live. Welcome to our Leading and Purpose series titled Empowering Women Through Purpose Driven Leadership. I am Clarice Valenzuela, your human dynamic consultant. For today's topic, hold a special significance as we will delve into the impact of women empowerment. Join us as we explore how this leadership approach ignites a possible ripple effect shaping teams, organization, and society. Our speaker for this afternoon is highly regarded professional with a strong presence in education, psychology, and research. Her dedicated to pursued knowledge is evident as she nearly completed her doctor degree in educational leadership. Additionally, she holds a license as a professional teacher and psychometrician. In her current role, she is a leader and a program head of a school for a teacher of education. She manages a team of educators and assists numerous of students. So let's welcome our speaker, none other than Miss Linda Grace Kangayaw. Hi, Miss Linda.
Hi, good afternoon, Miss Clarice. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I would also like to extend my appreciation to Human Dynamic Company for having me here today.
Yes, we also thank you for giving us the time. And for sure, our viewers from LinkedIn and Facebook are very excited as this topic is very special, no? And it's about women empowerment. So let's start. For the first question, how has the purpose rhythm leadership helped you to overcome challenges as a women leader, leading to both personal and professional success?
Okay, so Clarice, as a woman leader, I face personal challenges, such as self-limiting beliefs, feelings of inadequacy, emotional vulnerability, particularly during certain times. I know that you know what I meant. And being too concerned for others and personal responsibilities such as being a breadwinner, responding to a call of help from different people. So, overcoming these hurdles involve a transformative journey of self awareness and acceptance. So, it's very important for me as a leader to recognize that perfection is really not attainable, regardless of gender. I embraced and even communicated my vulnerabilities as a leader. And this shifted or allowed me to foster honest and transparent communication, collaboration. This allowed me to seek expert input and prioritize teamwork over competition to achieve our goal as a team. The progression is from self-awareness to self-acceptance. It's not enough that we know ourselves. No, we also have to accept our strengths and vulnerabilities so that we can facilitate effective self-management. It would also heighten our social awareness, leading to increased empathy and empowerment within our team. So as a manager, it's very important that we manage relationships in addressing challenges as well. So this had helped me overcome my challenges as a woman leader. Again, the two keywords I guess is self awareness and self acceptance.
That's wonderful, Miss Linda. Thank you for sharing your personal experience and for highlighting the transformative power of self awareness and acceptance. I agree with you that if an individual is self aware, you can tame those self limiting beliefs that you hear in your ears and the feelings of inadequacy that you have with yourself. No, you can reflect on your own abilities, accomplishment, and even areas of growth. At the same time, there's a better way to communicate, improve your conflict resolution, and even enhance your leadership styles. So, as you mentioned, also your willingness to embrace your vulnerability, which fosters environment of openness and trust to your team. So, meaning to say, the ideas and the solution should not only come from the leaders, but also to their subordinates, to their team members. So, no one is perfect. So, we can seek feedback with one another. We should listen to each and everyone's ideas, solutions, to improve and develop our skills and capabilities. So, speaking of skills and capability, what specific strategies have you employed to cultivate a purpose driven work culture that promotes professional growth, equality, and empowerment for women?
All right. So, Carrie, to tell you frankly, there could be a lot of strategies, but I would like to highlight, let's just say three strategies. The first one, and this one I learned from my current workplace, is the grow framework. So when we say grow, it's a popular framework known for coaching, but it's also a very good framework that we can use as leaders. So the first thing that we have to do is to review our goals. G stand for goals. And then after that, we should not immediately go to the solution, but we have to assess first our realities as a person, as an institution. And then after that, once we know our goal and our realities, we can now come up with realistic options. No, we can now accept our obstacles, and from then on, W stands for way forward. So our way forward will not just be effective but efficient, meaning we can maximize our time, effort, and energy to come up with our collective purpose. The next framework that I'm very much interested about is distributed leadership. I know in most organizations, it has always been top-down approach, wherein policies, programs, and activities would just be given to subordinates, or to the members of the organizations. But distributed leadership is um, more of empowering and equipping all team members with the competencies to contribute effectively to the shared goal. Because sometimes top top down approach can could lead to people just not caring so much about their organization because they're just waiting. But in distributed leadership, there are three key principles. So the first one is competence. It means that if you are to employ distributed leadership, then people has to be equipped in terms of competence. We don't just throw them to the ocean and allow them to be eaten by sharks. No, so we have to give them trainings, life vests, and everything that is important for them to perform competitively or to perform well in their tasks. So the second hallmark of distributed leadership is what we call um, accountability. So it's not enough that we ask them to decide for themselves, but we tell them what they are accountable for. Okay, so set of rules, guidelines that they should follow, easily accessible so that they could be guided whenever they have something to contribute or something to decide on. And the last hallmark is autonomy. Okay, so that's the last hallmark. So autonomy is not just telling them to decide whatever they want, but it's really more of um, earned autonomy. So they have to have people have to have competence first, and competence and accountability in order for them to have earned autonomy. Okay, so additionally, it's very important that we are data driven. No, as women, we are known to being very emotional, right? But yeah, that's a sweeping statement. Not all women are like that. But regardless of gender, regardless of gender, it's very important that we are data driven. No, we hold on to our personal opinion and always look at the data, okay, so that we can know our goals, know our realities. We can facilitate competency and accountability among our team members. And I know I said something about strength based approach. We have to remember that in any organization, um, people have weaknesses. Women have weaknesses, men have weaknesses. Even if it's not gender based, we all have weaknesses. But what's important is that we capitalize on the strengths. All people are different, not for us to not for us to say bad things about each other no, or to fight about our differences, but because we have different strengths as well. We are called to be complementary. So whatever my strength is, I contributed to the organization. And if a person is difficult to deal with, as a manager or as a leader, your task is to bring out the best in that person so that he or she could be complementary to the organization. No, and in the strength based approach, it's very important that we know each team members. We do not just rely on the simple data that we know about them, so we always have to communicate, know a little bit of a background, ask non-work related stuff so they would feel loved and appreciated. Hence they would be more open, and we can have more opportunities to connect with them, to know more about them. Once we know something about them, we can then give them tasks that could really excel on. And last but not the least, I like the fact that there should be role models in the organization. That's also a hallmark of a strength based perspective or strength based approach. We can always say women empowerment, but if there are no women leaders in the organization, it would be very hard to foster, it would be very hard to say that we are empowering women leaders. So there is, aside from the fact that we have a lot of things to do as leaders, we have to do it right so that we have good role models in the organization. And last but not the least, we also embrace inclusive approaches to ensure diverse and empowering work environment for everyone. So that's it, Clarice. Grow framework, distributed leadership, strength-based perspectives, and inclusive practices. And to top it all of that would work with data. So you also have to be data-driven as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Miss Linda, about the strategies of growth framework. Actually, last March 14, our organization conducted this kapihan session wherein we invited our partner organization, especially their women leaders. And one of the sharing there, one of the speaker mentioned about this growth framework where she highlights about the importance of having a growth mindset, perspective, having strategic stress management, and even uh, amplifying assertiveness to the workplace. And I would also like to thank you for highlighting the distributed leadership, as you've mentioned that our the team members should contribute to the organization by allowing them to be competent, no, by providing them the trainings that they need to be accountable as well to the responsibility, and at the same time to perform at their best. So thank you for that. Could you share your real life example of how purpose driven leadership inspired and motivated women in the workplace to overcome obstacles and achieve success?
Okay. Anyway, Clarice, to be very honest with you, I'm in an organization wherein women are appreciated and empowered. But just to give you a little background, I came from a poor community, grew up in a poor community, where there are certain societal norms that would push women to prioritize family over education. So what does it mean? Uh, in our society, you would often hear old people saying, "Oh, you should not send your daughter to school anymore. She'll just get married someday and take care of families, so they won't have time for careers, to have a good career." So I guess finishing college and now pursuing advanced degrees inspired the people in our community that while they can have their own families, they can also have careers as well, that they can actively contribute to organizations and to communities. So back to my academic journey. Growing up, I always think that math is not for girls. Okay, so that means that whenever I see numbers, my brain would automatically shut down. I don't even try anymore. Okay, so I graduated college with, I guess, not really zero knowledge, but below average knowledge in terms of mathematics. But when I reached master's degree, I was able to realize the power of statistics and research. That how can I have that coupled with my innate loving and caring nature to other people, right? So that's when I learned that I kind of waste time in not loving mathematics, statistics, and research per se when I was in college, because it could have had allowed me in the organizations I'm linked with to be more data driven in terms of my approaches. And now I'm just happy to say that I'm currently teaching statistics and research in college, and it's really liberating. So whenever I teach the subject, I have a lot of women as students. I always tell them that math is indeed difficult, statistics is difficult, but you can have it coupled, or it could really empower them to make programs that would emulate their natural inclination to be loving and caring human beings. Okay, so in my professional era, there are a bit of stereotypes with female leaders. No, not necessarily inflicted by other people, but sometimes it's we women have, self-limiting beliefs. No, and I try my best to overcome that. I understand the polarity of things. Now, in psychology, right, we often say that we have to challenge our negative thoughts. That while bad things can happen, while you have negative sides, you also have your good side as a person. That while bad things can happen, good things can happen as well. So why not try? Okay, so I always confirm my thoughts with data driven insights by communicating with other people. I don't just normally allow myself to be drowned my self limiting beliefs, no, or my negative thoughts. Also, what helped me a lot is our organization is very much data driven, allowing us to really look into different opportunities for growth and improvement. So to sum it all up, to sum it all up, um, and to answer that question about real life examples on how purpose driven leadership inspired and motivated women in the workplace, I could say that it's really up to the person per se. That's the first step. And secondly, we try to just do it, okay, no, overcome and face challenges just so we can confirm whether what we think about ourselves is true. And at the same time, we have to be good role models in the community and organizations as well. Okay, so I think, yeah, those are my real life examples of how I can be a purpose driven leader.
Yeah, thank you for that, Miss Linda. So, yeah, you are right that there's still this gender stereotype, no, that women are born to raise children. But as a women, we should give importance and we should take the opportunity to excel to our education. Through that, we can explore our knowledge, our own skills, and even our strength and weaknesses. And I also agree with you that the skills, that the intelligence of the person is not based on the gender. So the person can excel or can upgrade the skills. It's based on a person's passion and dedication. And the last one is you've mentioned about the challenges. As we grow in our profession, we experience a lot of challenges, right? So the important is we have to show up even though we're experiencing difficulty. We have to take this an opportunity to grow. The important is we have to be open to the feedbacks of our mentors, to the feedback of our team members, and use this for us to improve and develop our skills. By the way, in human dynamics, we have this approach work-life coaching services that we offer to our partner organization. And this work-life coaching services, the employees can avail this, especially if they are experiencing problems with their work and personal life. So this services is helpful to help them to perform at their best. And one of the services, part of the services of work-life coaching is the transition management coaching. So in the transition management coaching, those leaders, just like you, leaders who are experiencing problems with their performance, how to handle their employees, they can take this service for help them to know the problems and to help them to create a solution for their problems. So for my next question, in your opinion, what are the essential practical steps organization can take to integrate purpose-driven principle with the focus of promoting equality and empowerment for women in the workplace?
Okay. So, Kla, I got an inspiration from what you made mention a while ago. No, the service, one of the services of human dynamic. I guess it's very important for organizations to have safe spaces.
Yes.
Okay. So, coaching, is a very healthy way of alleviating negative emotions. Emotions are just normal to human beings. However, there are people, I mean, growing up, we weren't told, we weren't let's just say taught how to handle our emotions, right? Most academic trainings are focusing on cognitive aspects of a human being. However, at the end of the day, as human beings, we have emotions, we have our own way of processing information. So it's very important that we teach people how to manage their feelings, how to manage their emotions, because no matter how good you are, no matter how intelligent you are, regardless of gender, you are in a difficult position if you cannot manage yourself. And coaching is a very good way of alleviating those kind of problems, because as you know, negative emotion is something that is toxic inside the body, and anything toxic, it will be expelled by the body in any way possible. It's something that we cannot prevent from happening, no. However, if an organization has no uh, if we try to always suppress our people from really expressing how they feel, no matter, because we feel slighted, or we are not comfortable hearing the truth, it would come out in a different way, perhaps poor performance, as you made mention a while ago. No, one of the best employees that are no longer performing well, no, it could be a symptom of a psychological disturbance, which we could have alleviated if we have safe spaces such as coaching, training, mentoring, wherein we can also hear the thoughts of our employees. So that's one. Secondly, we have to empower women by having leadership roles, and by giving genuine feedback. Honesty is very important. Okay,
Yes.
so we should put them in a position wherein they could aspire and think of growing in the organization. Okay, because if they see that, for example, a certain gender is favored, then maybe they would not aspire anymore to be promoted or to be of another position, because they don't see any role models and they don't see any potential in that organization. No, so thirdly, again, sorry, I think I made mention of this 1,000 times. Data driven, no, approaches, inclusive practices. No, so that's very important. So we have to review our policies. We have to review our programs and activities. Are these data driven? Are these equitable for everyone? Is this something that they ask for? Because sometimes as organization, we thought that if we buy pizza for everyone, that's already a way of reaching out to the employees, but that's not it. You have to know it from from them. That's why we have to be data driven. We have to communicate with them. We have to ask them. But to ask them, you have to create a safe space so they can say whatever they want in a respectful manner. Okay? So, yeah, I think those are the things that practical, no? Safe space, be data driven, and of course, um, an organization wherein there's a potential for a leadership role as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with the safe space. If the employees feel safe, no, they can easily express their thoughts, even their ideas to the managers or to their leaders. And at the same time, I'd like that you highlight about advocating for women, wherein women have an equal opportunity for promotions, for leadership position in the organization. Plus, having this opportunity to speak for their concerns, for their ideas, and even for the contribution in their company. So for my last question, Miss Linda, as a women leader, I know you have this personal roles in your family. At the same time, you also overseeing your organization. How do you promote work-life balance?
Okay. So, Clarice, thank you for that question. I know, to tell you honestly, balance is challenging to achieve. If you achieve for balance, you no one would ever achieve it because sometimes it's really 60-40, 40-30, 40, let's just say 10-90. All right. So there are situations wherein we have to prioritize work. There are situations we have to prioritize family. But I think I would like to focus more on work life harmony. So I've been learning a lot of researching a lot of ways as to how I could achieve it. But I think what works best for me is really going back to my core and the reason why I'm working. I'm working for my family, especially my mom. I'm working just so I could maximize God's gift to me and give it to other people. But I also have to have time with the Lord. I also have to have time for my dreams and aspirations. So what I do is in my calendar, I put first all the time that I would devote to God. No, if our listeners are devotees, no, or Christians or Catholics, so that's the first thing I put in my calendar. Then I put also in my calendar the time that I would be spending time with my family, and put extra time as to when I could also reach out to my friends, to my best friends, to important people in my life. And I also put time in my calendar where I should, for example, finish my dissertation for my personal aspirations. So by placing what is important at the forefront, it would avoid me into the endless and vicious cycle of working 24/7 a day. So if I won't prioritize that, or I won't put that first in my calendar, I would end up working 7 days a week. So I put that first, and then I try my best. No, sometimes may sound bad to other people, but I want to set healthy boundaries and communicate transparently with stakeholders, especially students. I encourage them to contact me during business hours because I highlight to them that once they graduate, they also deserve work-life harmony. Okay, so as early as now, no, we're not just teaching them to be workaholics or to focus, give too much energy for work, no, and not having boundaries, but as a way of training them to respect boundaries as well. And in the time of other people, we become role models as well, no, and we remind them that it's very important that you spend good time with the very reason as to why you're studying, you're working. Okay, so going back to the core, so I believe it's not really balance but work life harmony. Do what's the core, do what's the most important thing. I think that's how I achieve, not really achieve, no, but trying to achieve work life balance.
Yeah, thank you for that. No, so you mentioned about time management. Although it's so hard to manage our time, what is important that we know when we will spend time with work, when we will spend time with our family, with the things that we love to do. with giving importance even to our own health, no, engaging to the activities like church or spiritual activities, or health or physical activities. At the same time, the importance of creating boundaries, no, you should know when to reply, no, is it the time to reply, or we should implement the schedule, no, love the business schedule that you communicate with this work or work related when you are in your work. Ayan. So as we wrap up to this webinar, we learned a lot from you, Miss Linda. So thank you so much. No. So for the summaries, I'd like to highlight about first one, embracing vulnerability. So all of us have this weaknesses. No. So we should not focus on these weaknesses, but we should use this for improvements and the development of our skills. And the second one is the growth framework, where everyone should utilize or have this goal mindset, and at the same time to assess the realities, no, to know what is the present current happening in yourself, in your company, to know the things, the strength and the weaknesses, and the available options and opportunities, so that you can create actions or plans for your organization and even for yourself. And the second one is for giving importance to the educations, to the training, and at the same time, taking challenges as an opportunity to grow. And the fourth one is the safe space where everyone is can share their thoughts and their ideas, where everyone is given an opportunity to be account to contribute for the organization, and to be accountable with their work responsibility. And the last one is the importance of work life harmony, where we should learn the time management, where we should prioritize not just our work, but also our personal commitment, our physical health, our loved ones, and even the our Lord. And and the last one, no, the learning to create healthy boundaries, no. So thank you so much, Miss Linda, for this insightful discussion. For sure, our viewers learn a lot and enjoy this conversation. So I would like to invite everyone, no, please watch our April 2024 episode, no? And after this, no, can you please, I would like to invite everyone to please fill out our feedback form. For we at Human Dynamic, we are committed in developing leaders, building teams, and transforming our organization to be at their best performance. Again, thank you and see you everyone. Bye bye.